A very good evening and a warm welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight on this second day of May 2024. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. Now, before we delve into tonight's news bulletin, let's first take a look at the top stories tonight. Top stories tonight. MPs ask for creation of more youth skilling centers. Kampala Archbishop tips UBOS on accurate data collection. Mandela National Stadium Nambole nears completion. And Chotida set to get a state-of-the-art market. Good evening once again. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. Now, some members of Parliament are in support of President Yoweri Museveni's statement on youth travelling to other countries for jobs. Our workers' representative in Parliament, Charles Bakabulindi, says this can be achieved through identifying talent exhibited by the youth. The woman member of Parliament, Zimbabwe, Mary Begumisa, says young people can at least look for jobs in the US and Canada and not in those countries of the UAE where they are being oppressed. We have the details.
If we identify those who have got natural talents and we tap them and we push them a bit by capitalizing them, then the rest they can do it. That element of capitalizing them is what is lacking. One may be having the skills to start something and in the long run create jobs for others, but how to start is the problem. So we need to modify there. Secondly, externalization of labor. Me as a workers' representative, I can't be proud of it, because externalization of labor is another modern form of slavery. This time they are not forcing them by tying them on chains, but they are just controlling them by calling them follow me. And once they reach there, they don't know what they are supposed to do. And like our colleagues, I was comparing notes with Kenya recently. We went there as a committee and we looked at cases, testimonies, but we find for them they're concentrating on skilled labor. They sign agreements with those foreign countries on skilled labor. How many mechanics do you want? How many teachers do you want? How many drivers do you want? And how do we follow them? If we can follow that trend, then it will cease to be a modern way of slavery, but something that to create more jobs as we create more at home. We've been getting money out of those who are going there. Why don't we use the same money that we have been getting to create centers for training people on what to do? Skilling is already programs going on, but tool them, equip them with some tools once they finish. Then once they have started something, automatically out of 50, you will find 30 creating more jobs for their colleagues. If one can create 3 more jobs after a year, those 3 will create more jobs. Then that will be another process of creating jobs.
It wouldn't be okay for us to send our children through our poor families to go and work abroad. If the workspace is not safe, it is okay for that child to be here and be skilled well, even if those people are laying bricks, even if those people are doing tailoring or salooning, or any small job which you think is small. That person is better. Those people can grow their business and love their country. They can build Uganda and they can get small facilities from government, and then they empower themselves and their families. That's what I believe. And that's jobs, of course, in the United States of America, good jobs. In Canada, I've seen good jobs, but I've seen people suffering here in the UAE. So if those people are going to suffer, better not to go. If you weigh the job and it does not have a good regulation for this person, better not to go. Better to.
The Archbishop of Kampala Archdiocese, His Grace Paul Semogere, has asked Uganda Bureau of Statistics to ensure accurate data during the forthcoming national population census set for the 9th to the 19th of May 2024. This was during a courtesy call of Uganda Bureau of Statistics staff at Rubaga Cathedral.
Whatever they have. With a few days left to the National Population and Housing Census Day, the Archbishop of Kampala, His Grace Paul Semogerere, has asked Uganda Bureau of Statistics to ensure the country gets accurate data for proper planning purposes.
That is very good information for the country and for all of us, and I would like to encourage you. What I would need to do is that to request you that you do it accurately, instead of guessing and imagining, and because we need accurate things in Uganda, sometimes we do fake things in our country.
The Archbishop said information gathered from the national census exercise will be of use to the government, the church and other institutions.
I am aware that the National Population and Housing Census provides fundamental statistical data and information which is necessary for planning for our population. The information is not only important to the government, but also for the church and all over the country and beyond.
The census exercise is expected to focus on data collection concerning Uganda's population with aspects of gender, religion and housing, among others.
And will be confidential. So it has nothing to do with taxes or what and so forth. So please take it easy.
The 10th of May is designated as a public holiday to allow census officials count persons living in Uganda beginning from the night of 9th to 19th May 2024. Mariana Wori and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
At least 986 personnel have been recruited in Gulu City to man the upcoming population census in the country. They include 878 enumerators and 108 supervisors. The team will be in charge of the digital exercise that is set to commence on the 9th of this month. The supervisors and enumerators are currently undergoing a week-long training being conducted jointly by Uganda Bureau of Statistics and Gulu City authorities.
Gulu City statisticians say street kids will be counted in the night hours since the majority of them are unnoticeable during the daytime. This will be done jointly with a team from the security to avert unsuspected risks and dangers that may be posed on the enumerators and supervisors.
This National Housing and Population Census, about 98% of it is going to be household questions. Most of them are entirely on the household. There's a lot of nitty-gritties in this copy, which is asking questions on household heads, whether they are regular household, what kind of assets they have, and everything is embedded in this. So it consumes over 98% of these questionnaires and the exercise.
Gulu City Census Officer Charles Lua says that the data generated will help in planning purposes and urged the census personnel to take extra steps in getting details of all households.
The population census and then we have the housing census combined into two. That's why we call it the population and housing census. There's a lot of statistics that we need out of this. For the academicians who are here, this is a prerequisite for our research process. We need to know the households that you're going for sampling. For sampling at the sampling frame where we pick out our desired sample size. So we need this population and census to be carried out correctly.
Similarly, Gulu resident City Commissioner Jane Francesca Akili called for professionalism among the enumerators and supervisors as they carry out the census exercise.
You are going to go to somebody's home who still does not know who you are and what you want in their homes. So be polite. Don't go there and begin answering. You mean that this and be smart. Say that by your appearance alone, even the person who didn't know about census will welcome you.
Gulu City Mayor Alfred Okwonga asked for cooperation from members of the public, noting that the exercise is entirely for planning purposes and no foul play.
So we need to know their numbers. These people has been here without being known or counted, and that one was impacting the service delivery badly. I know that with this census, we are now going to know and provide quality services to the people.
Since Uganda attained her independence in 1962, Uganda has had 5 censuses, and the 2024 population census makes it the 6th census. For Gulu City, it is the first census.
Now, in more news this evening, Uganda People's Defence Forces Engineering Brigade is upbeat about the near completion and delivery of Mandela National Stadium, Nambole, on time. This comes at a time when the facility has just hosted 2 test matches aimed at securing approval by the Confederation of African Football body, CAF, for the refurbished stadium to host international matches.
Nambole has been under renovation since February 2022 and is yet to be commissioned officially for international matches. Despite some hiccups with the automated access control, the project engineer, Lieutenant Colonel Engineer Sekuchi Demuka, says they have scored success so far, especially after the 2 successful test matches this week.
Which is now ready to host the match, and it was witnessed yesterday, because after the first game, which was between the Vipers and the Bull, they did some simple maintenance, then they went for the rest. Another game came in at 7, which was also played for 90 minutes, and it ended well. And so this, according to here, we are ready. The chairs are strong and well fixed. The fan themselves, because I was also amongst the fan, we enjoyed.
The stadium is crucial not only for the success of AFCON 2027, but also for enhancing the overall spectator experience in sports events held across the country.
We have done a lot in the mechanical system. It was designed fully by Minister of Works, by the service engineer Babeyo Shafik. He's very well exposed and he has a lot of knowledge. He has passed the same knowledge to us. So generally it has been a project which has really imparted us a lot of knowledge, and we can take on any job, similar job, and do to its completion. But this time even the planning will be done very fast, because we know what must come first, because the other one was the first of its kind. But here we know immediately we step on site, you must order for this, you must order for this must be in place.
At least 97 billion shillings was allocated for Nambole Stadium renovation in phase 1.
It has made us even now narrow the work and complete it in the shortest time possible. At first I thought it would be impossible, but with the pressure and the requirement, it has made us work. I thank the Honorable Minister, State Minister for Education, for the pressure. He has been with us here daily, up to late, to ensure that we work. You can't even decide, where are you? I saw some here. So really the pressure has been good. It has made us work and deliver the project.
The Confederation of African Football Federation is yet to approve the stadium for international matches. UPDF Engineering Brigade is working tirelessly to have the stadium fixed for international matches. Haruna Mtaisasira, UBC News.
The Minister of State for Relief, Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Lilian Abe, has launched food relief distribution to all the districts of the Karamoja sub-region. This follows a number of food insecurity cases faced by the region in the past year as a result of poor performance of the rain, which supports agriculture, among others. Abe called for collaboration and coordination towards reducing vulnerability levels in the Karamoja sub-region.
The Minister of State for Relief, Disaster Preparedness and Refugees, Lilian Abe, has launched food relief distribution exercise for Karamoja sub-region.
So we are dispersing food to Karamoja sub-region, and we have 8 districts of Karamoja. Some are already loaded and they will be leaving today with immediate effect. Others not yet loaded because we don't have enough trucks to take all the food at once.
Abe says, as a result of climate variability, mainly low rains, there has been changes in the food crop planting seasons that has led to poor yields.
And of course, this comes as an advocacy that has been done by members of parliament through the meetings that we have had, and they have brought their plea to us that Karamoja has to be given priority because of the challenges that they have. So we have districts of Moroto, Napak district, Kabong district, Nabelatuk district, Karenga district, Abim district, Nakapiripirit, Potido, and Amodat. All these will receive food. 151,600 kilograms of maize flour. 75,500 kilograms of beans. That is what is going to be dispatched.
She called for collaboration and coordination in ensuring food availability in Karamoja sub-region.
Government is also looking at more sustainable ways of supporting Karamoja, not only on relief food items and all that. The issues of irrigation system, we are also working hand in hand with the Ministry of Agriculture to see how that belt of Karamoja that can produce food is supported.
Jane Nyiramcha, Anit Sana for UBC News.
UBC News Tonight. The Office of the Director, Public Prosecutions, has withdrawn charges against 6 suspects who have been facing charges of theft, robbery, trespass and connivance to steal from engineer Simon Orech Eliba, a resident of Ntinda. Now, the case was before Magistrates Edgar Kalakide of City Hall Court. We have more details.
The Director of Public Prosecutions has withdrawn charges against 6 people who have been facing charges of theft and carrying out illegal eviction of engineer Simon Orech Eliba's residences in Ntinda. The 6 are Julius Lukwago, Hussein Kato, Peter Okero, Uma Katerega, Hussein Malocheng, and Godfrey Bahati. They were arrested in December 2023 by State House Anti-Corruption Unit and had spent 6 months in Ruzula Government Prison. The 6 suspects are facing charges of theft, robbery, trespass, among others, which were caused to engineer Simon Orech Eliba, a resident of Ntinda. Before Magistrate Edgar Kalakiro of State Hall Magistrates Court Kampala, prosecution led by Masaya Mangusho, the DPP decided to withdraw charges against them. In doing so, Magistrate Kalakire gave no reasons for the withdrawal. Georgia Muhanji, lawyer for the accused persons, talked to UBC TV after court.
State House Anti-Corruption Unit n'osibira abantu obwerere emyezi 7 babadde mu komera mu balabya abasajja babadde balina abakazi balina abaana.
Some of the relatives of the accused persons were pleased with the DPP's move.
Twebaza buli omu, twebaza abalamuzi abasazi b'emisango gino kulaba tufunye obwenkanya tubaira abantu befa fulumi. Banga ddene emyezi 6 babadde mu makomera abantu bebabonaabona naffe nga tubonaabona we batali.
Emisango egyo bagenze otunulamu emisango simituufu. Bagoberedde ensonga ebintu bye babayiriza nga si bituufu.
Nebaza na IPP okuta baganda bange abo naye mukama w'amaanyi mukama wa kitiibwa era twongera omusinza.
According to the charge sheet on court records, it was alleged that the 6 on 5th December 2023 in Ntinda 2 robbed engineer Simon Orech Eliba of his funds and over 3 million shillings.
This is so good for me because the condition where I was not easy. Life there is not easy. So I was praying God. Mpira fine kuda osanga mami wange. Sina kirala mavanga ndi mulamu. Byote byogerekekera.
Meanwhile, Democratic Party's Benedict Kagaliko is concerned over the delay by Court of Appeal to hear the case he filed against DP Party President Norbert Mao, challenging his actions. DP's Benedict Chwanuka says the leadership of Norbert Mao in DP plus his committee is illegal. Although Norbert Mao and his team appealed the lower court's decision, Kiwanuka alleges delay to hear this case since 2020. Galiko also says that the delay to hear this case has given those in offices power to continue violating the constitution of the party. Rebecca Nantongo, Dewarana Mamonde, UBC News.
Ugandan academician, cartoonist and activist Dr. Jimmy Spire Sentongo has won the European Union Human Rights Defenders Award of 2024. According to the Jan Sadek, the EU ambassador to Uganda, the human rights defender act as watchdogs and whistleblowers and ensure all governments live up to their commitments.
To get his messages out.
Academic, cartoonist and activist Dr. Jimmy Spire Sentongo has been named the winner of the European Union Human Rights Defenders Award 2024. The award is given annually by the EU and Norway to recognize an outstanding contribution by a human rights defender in Uganda.
Yeah, this really means a lot to me in terms of first, I don't do this to be recognized or to be appreciated. This is something that I have done for so many years. Since 2006, I've been drawing cartoons, I've been speaking to the press, writing. But when you get recognized, of course, it means a lot. It means a lot being appreciated, knowing that there are other people who are behind you, people who recognize that you're helping someone out there, you're speaking for someone who is, for one reason or the other, not able to speak.
Spire is known for his social commentary through satirical cartoons and is also a team member at the digital activism platform Agora Discourse.
It shows the solidarity of the many others who are pushing for the same spirit, pushing for the same values, for the same ideals as those that I work for, as those that inspire me to do this work.
Also shortlisted for this year's awards are Jaska Ruth Atta, a woman rights activist based in Kotido District, and Doreen Namyalo, a human rights lawyer with Penal Reform International. At the ceremony held at the Danish ambassador's residence in Kampala, the EU head of delegation and the Danish ambassador to Uganda congratulated the winner and finalists and also called government to action on issues that affect communities.
Here we can celebrate.
ABC News Tonight. Now, leaders in Bukedi sub-region have lauded President Museveni for establishing a skilling hub in the region to fight unemployment through ushering the population into the money economy. State Minister for Bunyoro Affairs, Jennifer Kacha Namuyangu, says establishing zonal industrial hubs was solely to deal with the high rates of poverty among several communities in Uganda perpetrated by unemployment. Namuyangu, who is also the woman member of parliament for Chibuku district, made the remarks at the graduation ceremony held at Bukedi Zonal Presidential Industrial Hub located at Ruatama Sub-County, Chibuku District. A total of 477 trainees from the first and second intakes completed their vocational training and were awarded certificates in bakery and confectionery, welding and metal fabrications, leather processing, tailoring and design, hairdressing and makeup, building and construction practice, and carpentry and joinery.
Are given limited numbers, and yet we have overwhelming numbers outside there who compose of our youth who need skilling. It is therefore my appeal to government, to State House, to increase on the numbers to be enrolled here.
This training is very important for us, and it has come at the right time when the world and Uganda need skills for employment, for development, for wealth creation, and for socio-economic transformation in this country. As we stand, the Minister of Education and Director of Industrial Training, our skill does not segregate, and that is also in line with the manifesto of NRM.
A tree can't just grow in one day. A tree grows for years, and when it stands, it's strong. So the more you grow slowly, you're going to get where you are. And I have a dream that one day I'll have a great workshop, and perhaps I will be working hand in hand with the government. I want to send my greetings to His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of Uganda, and I really appreciate him for working in hand with the Directorate of Industrial Training.
The skills I gained
joined here, I took it as a core value, because even when I went to my village, I tried my level best to see that I can do something.
We have people who did not have hope, people who thought the education system had ended. But here they are, they have the skill. And I can assure you, you are going to be very, very prosperous. You are going to create jobs. You are going to be employers. You are going to be very big as you walk out of this institution.
Secondary Science and Mathematics program under the Ministry of Education and Sports has trained regional trainers in science subjects and equipping them with knowledge to have practical assessment methodologies. And according to the Commissioner, Teacher Education Training, Ministry of Education, this has to help regional trainers on the content and text framework designed to inform and develop the end-of-year assessments.
Right? So one must gather the evidence of the competences that are there in that task. So our teachers have been here being trained on how to conduct competence-based assessment, how to develop assessment items. We are not writing items, but we are developing them. And this assessment is criterion referenced. It's no longer norm referenced. We are not comparing learners. We are looking at how competent, who is competent to the high level and who is not yet competent. The rest are in between there. So that's what they have been doing here. And then we expect them to go out there and train other teachers such that we begin preparing our learners for the assessment, which is expected to begin in October this very calendar year.
The trainer, when we go back to the region, that is in all different regions, if I can talk about Mukono region in particular, we are going to go and cascade this very knowledge we have gained here, because it is very good knowledge which the fellow teachers of science and mathematics need to ensure that they can learn and improve on how to set a good assessment item for the end of year for their learners.
The Member of Parliament, Nakawa East, Engineer Balimwezo Nsubuga, has said that as legislators have played their roles in putting in ensuring a minimum wage for all eligible persons in this country, he says that the bill awaits to be assented to by the Fountain of Honor.
The cause is limited access to labor justice.
The Member of Parliament, Nakawa East, Engineer Balimwezo Nsubuga, says a minimum wage for workers remains a big concern to all workers.
The General clearly told us that the objectives of tax exemption were not achieved because investors have not given our people employment opportunities.
Balimwezo says that in his constituency, most of the employers are wondering why the minimum wage issue is not being given due attention.
A place like Nakawa, where we have majority of the industries, you find that our people are working under terrible conditions. Their welfare is not good. The conditions are not good.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we return with more stories after these messages.
The Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, is wholly owned by the Government of Uganda and was established to safeguard and promote Uganda's commercial interests in the petroleum sector. UNOC has two subsidiaries, the Uganda Refinery Holding Company, URHC, which will hold a 40% stake in the 60,000 barrel per day refinery and manage the development of Kabalega Industrial Park, and the National Pipeline Company Limited, NPC, in charge of pipelines, storage, and downstream business ventures. This subsidiary holds 15% interest in the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, EACOP. EACOP is a 1,445-kilometer long pipeline that will transport crude oil through 10 districts in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania. UNOC is also actively engaged in crude oil exploration, development, and production activities, and its participation role includes a 15% stake in the Tilenga, Nwoya, and Bulisa and Kingfisher development projects, Chikure. UNOC also holds the exploration license for Kasuruban Block in Hoima, Bulisa, and Masindi. UNOC currently owns and manages the Jinja Storage Terminal and will build a 320 million litre capacity terminal in MPG called the Kampala Storage Terminal. At UNOC, we're harnessing the potential of Uganda's petroleum resources, forging a sustainable future and preserving the natural beauty of Uganda. UNOC, your partner in Uganda's oil and gas industry.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar! My boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with baby Junior jelly.
So dried their chariots and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa love baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior the skin, no more worries anymore. Baby Junior. Baby Junior.
Welcome back from that break. We are glad that you're still with us here on UBC News tonight. Now, in the world of business, the much anticipated construction of the Mutukula Regional Market and Mutukula Regional Market project is set to commence soon following successful selection of a contractor. At the site handover ceremony held at Nawaloka Construction Company, Uganda Limited, the CEO of the market project encouraged the company to execute their tasks with excellence, aiming to establish a comprehensive one-stop market in the region.
Hello.
Construction of a 5.2 billion regional market at the border with Tanzania in Mutukula is poised to begin after the site handover to the contractors. Officials from the Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Works, Mutukula Regional Market Project and local leaders from Chotera District have been urged to work closely with the contractors throughout the project's implementation.
I pray that you take this as your entry point into the country and you take it as serious as possible. One, for us who came and said, Nawaloka is what it is.
I also want to pass this message from the ministry that there's a lot expected from you in terms of executing this mission.
Karim Karamaji, the CEO of the Mutukula Regional Market Project, expresses confidence that the construction will progress smoothly given the availability of funds to initiate the works immediately.
We need something at the site because the community, the country, the East Africa community, they are monitoring and they are waiting to see what's at the ground. There is nothing. So I have other contractors, but we need my pattern. We start, then other contractors, they will come and learn from your side. Okay?
The CEO of Nawaloka Construction Company Limited, Karani Alisi, assured Ugandans that they would deliver exceptional results within the stipulated 24-month time frame to complete the project.
So it is our always intention, wherever we go, we have to do a good job and keep the country, wherever we are, we have to do best for the country and also the people. And this will be the high-end construction work, and which will be lasted more than 30 years with our design. So that assurance can be given.
Upon completion, the market is envisioned to feature 100 shelters, 1,000 warehouses, a 5-star hotel, an international hospital, a daycare center, 6 fuel stations, lodges, and other essential facilities. I am Chibedi Bashir for UBC.
The third Deputy Prime Minister, Rukia Nakadama, has urged technological firms to invest more time and resources in sensitizing the public on the relevance of the new technologies and how it works. Nakadama made the appeal at Huawei Cloud Enterprise Innovation and SME Summit in Kampala, where she also launched a 5-year Huawei Cloud Startup Program. We have more.
Small and medium enterprises are urged to leverage on digital technologies in order to compete with larger enterprises and also overcome traditional challenges that hamper their growth and development. The call was made by the third Deputy Prime Minister, Rukia Nakadama, at the Huawei Cloud Enterprise Innovation and SME Summit in Kampala.
I want to request Huawei, let us simplify this program. It should be simplified. It should be localized so that the people should know about it in our local way, the local language, in local messages, so that they can start using it. If we still leave it at that high level, in the clouds still, like we are saying, the people will not, it will take time for them to understand. But I think that is the message I have to send to the people of Huawei and of course even the Ministry of ICT.
The summit provided an opportunity for Uganda's industry leaders in various sectors to exchange insights and share market opportunities and successful experiences.
But when you come to what are the legal considerations, one of the challenges with using technology is security. And I was seated with one of the people in security in ICT. And this challenge is, first of all SMEs need data, need customer data.
All of us, in whatever we do, whether government or private sector, we can use cloud computing to manage our cost of computing. Because there is no amount of servers you will need to solve all your problems. But if they combine all our problems, they can put up one server to sort all our issues.
At the event, Huawei Technologies Uganda launched the Huawei Cloud Startup Program, which entails different support to different enterprises.
With Huawei Cloud, we hope startups to obtain cost-effective value, cloud computing power more easily, and reach business opportunities more quickly.
What's entailed in this startup program? Here we will be able to give different cloud services or different cloud solutions that suit your business as a small medium enterprise so that you can grow in your business.
Cloud technologies have revolutionized the way businesses store, manage and process data. Its importance can be seen in various aspects such as scalability, cost effectiveness, flexibility, security, among others.
Now that we don't want to leave anybody behind, our vision 2040 is to digitalize everybody. So Ministry of ICT together with Huawei, they have to work hand in hand so that they can localize this program and take to our people.
Globally, cloud technology continues to transform the way businesses operate, offering numerous benefits that enhance productivity, efficiency, and innovation.
The Agricultural Business Initiative, ABI, plans a massive investment of 66.8 billion shillings aimed at revolutionizing Uganda's agricultural landscape. The initiative is designed to combat climate change effects and promote inclusive economic growth. We have more details in this report.
At the heart of this initiative are two transformative programs, the Green Agri-Food System Program and the Accelerating Adoption of Green and Inclusive Finance, both designed to combat climate change effects and promote inclusive economic growth.
We do this business together with agribusinesses. It's agribusinesses that buy produce from farmers and therefore provide critical markets. The agribusinesses as well provide inputs and services to farmers, provide extension, and also working closely with government.
Funding will go towards not just funding initiatives, but also bringing the awareness of these issues to all the stakeholders involved in this country.
These initiatives have already made a substantial impact, with over 2.2 million farmers benefiting, majority being women. The focus on green loans has also contributed to sustainable practices and increased incomes.
And Denmark is very committed to working towards a green, sustainable, inclusive transformation of Uganda's economy. And with the new projects, I do believe that ABI will be able to play a key part in striving towards becoming the best funder of climate adaptation in Uganda. If we do this right, we can do it together. Together we can create new jobs, we can strengthen agricultural productivity, and all that while working to make Uganda more climate resilient.
The launch event, graced by Dr. Nyakalet Opolot, the Commissioner, Extension and Skills Management Services from the Ministry of Agriculture, reiterated the alignment of ABI's efforts with national priorities and longer-term development plans.
Because many times you go out, you'll see on television a farmer saying, through this support from ABI, through support from MAIF, through support from FAO, I'm now making 50 million every year. Then you look at the farmer and his dwelling, and the three are not related. You don't see the 50 million. So you wonder, is the farmer transforming? So we really hope that as we are here today, let the change in the quality of life of a farmer we reach be our yardstick for good performance.
As Uganda strides towards a greener, more inclusive agriculture future, ABI's commitment stands as a beacon of hope for sustainable growth and prosperity in the farming community. Robert Katamba, UBC News.
Please come.
Old Mutual Investment Group has recognized its outstanding agents who have made significant contributions to the company's growth. The event also marked the launch of the 2024 Incentives Program, designed to motivate agents to continue delivering exceptional results.
The award ceremony acknowledged agents who successfully brought in businesses despite the challenges posed by the beginning of the year, when many individuals focus on paying school fees and withdrawing of funds for personal expenses.
So many agents managed to bring in business because of that. And also at the beginning of the year, many people are actually paying school fees, many people are withdrawing money and all that to cater for some of the things that they want to do. So as we grace through the year, funds are coming through.
As the year comes to a close, Old Mutual Investment Group has seen an influx of funds, making the proceedings even more noteworthy. The Managing Director, Old Mutual Investment Group, Simon Mwebaze, highlighted the history of unit trusts, which were first launched in 2003 by the collective investment schemes.
By saying, this year our ambition is to look at a customer or look at our clients, our business partners as one, not as life, not as asset management, not as general insurance. So every single conversation that we are going to be having, we're going to be having it with that lens in mind. We are looking at it as how can we be able to enable this individual or this institution achieve their financial objectives across the spectrum, whether it is insurance, whether it is saving under life or even under investments, we should be able to do that. And our responsibility on the back end through the management will be to make sure that we can come up with solutions that are bundled, that can make those conversations that you're going to be having much easier.
Old Mutual Investment Group has experienced exponential growth with assets under management reaching close to 2 trillion. The 2024 Incentives Program aims to motivate agents to continue delivering exceptional results, building on the success of the 2023 Agency Awards. Mashamiro Victor, UBC News.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're sorting it. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Uganda's biggest tourism and travel trade show of the year is here again. The 8th edition of the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo Poate 2024 under the theme Responsible Tourism will be taking place at the Speak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo from the 23rd to the 25th of May 2024. It's your chance to connect with tourism and travel professionals from across the globe. Discover travel holiday deals, packages, and so much more. Visit www.poate.co.ug to register and be part of the event. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo Poate is brought to you by the Uganda Tourism Board.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the international scene as the international community prepares for World Press Freedom Day on the 3rd of May. Zambian journalists say they are happy that this year's commemoration will focus on their profession in the face of the environmental focus. This year's Press Freedom Day is to shed a spotlight on drought, which has struck Southern Africa, pushing regional leaders to declare national disasters and a state of emergency.
Kathy Short. Hi, I'm Kathy Short, a journalist from Lusaka, Zambia. I became a journalist because I love writing stories and bringing those stories on your screens across the African continent. I also like talking to people from various backgrounds and bringing their interesting stories to you, our dearest viewers. I also love writing. And in light of this year's World Press Freedom theme, a press for the planet, journalism in the face of the environmental crisis, we are living in that reality in many parts of the world as millions of people are impacted by climate change. Here in Zambia, we are experiencing the worst drought in 20 years, giving journalists like me an opportunity to write more about environmental stories. Happy World Press Freedom Day. Free press matters.
U.S. presidential candidates have presented different fronts on their campaigns regarding how to address reproductive rights. Republican candidate and former President Donald Trump says states should have the responsibility to regulate reproductive rights, as in Florida, which bans abortions after 6 weeks. His opponent, the Democrats' candidate and incumbent President Joe Biden, says decentralized authorities such as states threaten women's lives.
The Biden campaign is making reproductive rights a centerpiece of its re-election drive. Vice President Kamala Harris campaigned in Florida the day the state's new abortion law took effect.
This is a fight for freedom. The fundamental freedom to make decisions about one's own body and not have their government tell them what they're supposed to do.
Florida's new abortion law is among the nation's most restrictive and has prompted a November ballot initiative to put abortion rights in the state constitution. U.S. states are making their own abortion laws because a 2022 Supreme Court decision ended federal abortion protections. Trump appointed 3 of the 6 justices who decided that case, and Harris says voters need to hold him accountable.
Across our nation, we witness a full-on assault, state by state, on reproductive freedom. And understand who is to blame. Former President Donald Trump did this.
While Trump says the new Florida law goes too far, he regularly takes credit for this state-by-state approach to abortion. It's the will of the people, he explained in a video on his social media site last month.
Many states will be different. Many will have a different number of weeks, or some will have more conservative than others, and that's what they will be. At the end of the day, this is all about the will of the people. You must follow your heart or, in many cases, your religion or your faith.
At a women's health clinic in Fort Pierce, Florida, this patient fears the new law means more young women will die.
I think it means a lot more deaths, honestly, because 6 weeks is not really a lot of time. And then I feel like abortion, it's still going to happen, whether it happens legally or illegally. It'll happen like on the streets. It'll just be unsafe.
Clinic owner Candace Dye says there was a rush of patients before the new abortion law. For her, a 6-week ban is too restrictive.
And a lot of girls don't even know they're pregnant until they're 6 weeks. You know, they think they're 4 weeks because they haven't seen their period yet. So, and then we do our ultrasound and they're 6 already, and the patients have to be seen 2 different days.
Outside the clinic, anti-abortion protesters try to engage with each woman who enters. Tammy Holly shares her experience.
I'm here because abortion has hurt me, and I certainly don't want to see other women hurt by abortion. They walk in the door and they never come out the same. No matter how they try to go on with life as normal, they'll never be the same.
While ending abortion motivates many Republican voters, Trump appears mindful of the issue's political vulnerabilities in a close presidential race.
Always go by your heart, but we must win. We have to win. We are a failing nation, but we can be a failing nation no longer. We will make our nation great.
Harris says Trump's Republican allies in Congress want a nationwide abortion ban. Trump has said that's not necessary now that states can make their own abortion laws. Scott Stearns, VOA News.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has wrapped up his Middle East trip without an announcement of a ceasefire or hostage deal between Israel and Hamas. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told Blinken during their meeting on Wednesday that he would not accept an end to the war in Gaza as part of any hostage deal, and that a planned military operation on the city of Rafah would happen whether there was a ceasefire deal or not.
Thank you, Blinken. Thank you. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met Wednesday in Tel Aviv with relatives and supporters of Israeli hostages still held by the militant group Hamas, a U.S. designated terrorist group. Blinken is on his 7th trip to the region since the Israel-Hamas war was triggered by a Hamas attack on October 7th. He is in pursuit of a ceasefire deal that would free the hostages and bring about a pause in the war that has left nearly 35,000 Palestinians dead, according to the Gaza Health Ministry. Blinken and Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant visited the Kerem Shalom crossing into Gaza on Wednesday. Blinken said Israel had made important concessions to allow more aid to reach Palestinians and to reach a ceasefire deal. He said the world is waiting for Hamas to take the deal that is on the table.
Hamas has to decide whether it will take this deal and actually advance the situation for the people that it purports to care about in Gaza. There is no time for delay.
But after a packed trip to Israel, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia, Blinken left for home without any news of a ceasefire agreement. Observers had also been watching for a broader deal that would have involved normalizing ties between Israel and Saudi Arabia, possibly in exchange for a deal that would have ended the war in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he is not willing to end the war to get a hostage deal. And he said a planned military offensive into the Gaza city of Rafah, where at least 1 million Palestinians have fled, would happen whether there is a ceasefire or not. One analyst told VOA Blinken has not been able to achieve a breakthrough.
But I think the real holdup here is the fact that you've got an Israeli government led by Prime Minister Netanyahu that includes voices that strongly oppose a Palestinian state. And the Saudis have made very clear that they want to see a ceasefire in this war in Gaza as soon as possible. And they also want to see a commitment towards building a state of Palestine.
Katula said he was in Saudi Arabia last week and that there has been a lot of progress on a defense pact or other bilateral agreements between Washington and Riyadh, but not on a broader agreement with Israel. Cindy Sain, VOA News.
Fred!
Osmosis.
Freddy! Fred Dollar, my boss, CEO of Inojo, the general of generals, the conqueror of conquerors, the first and the final, the sky above the skies, the promised land, the terms and the conditions, the international king crocodile, the source of the
Osmosis.
the Nile.
I don't have money today.
Just take a polite loan of 200k to stock my shop. The signs and symptoms of success. The bank commander, not the bank teller.
Why hassle for a loan when you've got MTN Momo? We're so tingy. Use the Momo app or dial *165*5# for all quick loans. Choose from the different loan options from our partners and get one that works for you. Together, we're unstoppable.
Gold. We all want it. That soft yellow glow with subdued sun in your hands. That precious polish of elegance. To hold it is one thing, but to taste it is everything else. Relish the satisfying taste of a beer, unmatched in quality, unmatched in consistency, and with 23 Global Gold Awards. A beer unmatched in gold.
And now into the world of sports. The BetPower Futsal Super League has been a success in Uganda. The 2023-2024 league season that started in November now remains with 2 match days starting tonight. Marshall Miro with the details.
After 20 successful weeks, the 2023-2024 BetPower Futsal Super League is reaching its climax. Before the current season started last November, BetPower unveiled a new brand identity of their partnership with Futsal Association of Uganda. This partnership has benefited the league in numerous ways this term through investment. One of the key standouts was the beautification of the old Kampala Futsal Arena, where games are played every Thursdays and Friday nights. Park FC, who won the league with 2 match days left, await their opponent in the Super Cup final, which will be played at the end of this month. Chisenyi FC and Lubaga Gramen, who play Adenal FC and Kawempe FC respectively on Thursday night, will be hoping to collect maximum points as they chase an automatic second-place slot for the Super Cup final. Mashamiro Victor, UBC News.
And with that story, UBC News Tonight has come to an end, but do join us for our second edition at 10 o'clock. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. I'll see you at 10.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.